Phone lines open as we talk with Kathryn Dickerson of Smolin Plevy, an expert on child support law. If you have a question or comment, do join us at 703-387-1020. To the phones we go. Let's begin with Bob first. Bob in Silver Spring, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm making monthly payments. The amount is $450 a month. That's court order. If I pay $300 a month, what are the repercussions?
Stay on the line, Bob. Thanks very much for the question.
The repercussions are that he has an arrearage of the difference each month, which continues to accrue, plus interest on that amount. So while he's unlikely to be found in contempt of court because he's doing the best he can, the fact is that he's going to owe that money and then some. One of the things he might want to consider is going to court and moving for a temporary downward modification of that support to the lower amount, so that when he gets a job, when he gets his bonus, when the economic recovery affects him personally, they can move, the other parent can move to increase that child support amount.
Bob, was your ability to pay the amount you owe each month impacted by something in the last 6 months or a year when the economy's been so bad? We may have lost Bob. Is Bob gone? Apparently, no one's answering me, but apparently he has gone. Yeah, that's the telltale sound that Bob may have left us. But Bob, thank you very much for the call. To what extent are divorced parents, you know, their post-marriage relationship? To what extent does that contribute to their ability to work out something amicably among themselves in a situation like this, where, you know, it's not that I'm paying nothing, but I'm paying less than the full amount. So can you help me out until, you know, my personal financial situation improves?
Well, as in all situations, it's best for the children if the parents can co-parent, and that co-parenting extends to the payment of child support. Again, the parent receiving child support, if he or she doesn't get the full amount, has the option to ask the court to enforce or force the other parent to pay that amount. So if one parent is willing to forbear and cut some of the children's expenses in the meantime, with the understanding that the other parent will make up that difference, that would be the best, least expensive way to go about it. The most expensive way, of course, is for the parent who's receiving child support to dig in the heels and say, absolutely not, you're going to pay the full amount. If not, I'm going to bring the court system down upon you. And the repercussions for being in significant child support arrears could be to be found in contempt of court and jailed.
What happens within a family when children are witness to debate and discord and acrimony between divorced parents over money that is owed? What's been your experience? What do you see?
Generally, I find that in those situations, the children end up needing help. Often parents try to explain to their children during the course of the divorce that it's not the child's fault. But when the child sees the parents arguing over money, then money translates to love, love translates to a child feeling unloved or feeling like they're the cause of this acrimony. One of the best ways for parents who are divorced to approach is to sit the children down and say, the economy's bad, dad's lost his job, mom's lost her job, we're going to have to tighten our belts, this is what we're going to do, and we're sorry, but you're not going to get the Xbox, you're not going to get the Wii for Christmas, we're going to do this instead, we're not going to take these vacations. If the visiting parent is, for want of a better colloquial term, a Disneyland dad, they're now going to museums.
What is a Disneyland dad?
Parents who have limited time with their children. So what they do is they go into an extravaganza mood. We have to go to FAO Schwartz and buy you everything that you want during this limited time I have with you. So those parents are finding that they can't do that in this economy. They're going to museums, they're going to parks, they're limiting their expenses, and that's something that they should explain to their children. I would love to do these things for you, but I can't. This is what we're going to do instead. And if the other parent were supportive, that would be best for the children all around, as opposed to your mother doesn't love you anymore, see she hasn't bought you anything new.
Love, which is such a lovely sentiment to express to a kid. I guess in situations where the parent who no longer lives with the children is at some distance from the rest of the family, there's that temptation to overcompensate. You know, I live 1,000 miles away, so we're only going to be seeing each other a couple times a year. Therefore, it's going to be sort of over-the-top vacations and gift buying, as opposed to what apparently a lot of families do when the mom and dad split up, the parent who moves out of the house will sometimes get a place right down the street or somewhere else in the neighborhood, just for that ease of the logistical part of life, the picking up and the dropping off and the soccer and all the rest of it. I mean, that's not an uncommon thing, but again, where you have parents living 1,000 miles away for whatever reason, there's probably a temptation to go crazy where where financially you're able to splurge on vacations and stuff.
And to the extent that the parents have done that in the past, they're finding that they can't do that in the past. But to the extent that people don't have those resources, and we have the parent who's receiving child support dependent upon that money, for example, to assist with the mortgage, and now their mortgage, their home, the child's home is endangered, that puts a very realistic and creates an everyday impact upon what happens.
To the extent that we've been dealing with a pronounced economic downturn for the last 12 or 13 months, are judges more likely to say when someone can't pay all they owe to the person owed money, hey, listen, they can't pull the money out of the ground. They're out of work, as are millions of other folks. So let's be flexible and let's deal with this together in the most acrimony-free atmosphere we can manage.
Well, judges unfortunately are in a very hard position because they have to protect what's best for the children. And it really depends on what the jobless parent is doing.
Gotcha.
There are certain parents who say, I'm a CPA, I'm a dentist, I'm an attorney, I'm looking for jobs in my field. I can't find anything in my field. Then there are other parents who say, I have to put food on the table. I'm going to go work at Target. I'm going to work at any job that I can find that puts food on the table. And if that's the situation, judges are much more inclined to be understanding.
Interesting. As we said at the outset, there's probably no part of our lives that hasn't been impacted by the recession, so no surprise that child support payments would be among them as well. Kathryn Dickerson, an expert on child support law. She's a partner at, I don't want to promote you above your pay grade. A partner?
Yes, sir.
Partner at Small and Plevy. Good to see you, and thanks very much for coming in and sharing your expertise with us. Good having you.